All right, let's get cooking. Welcome to the latest edition of Chin Check Sports Radio. I'm your host, JD. I want to thank you all for taking the time out to join us. And as always, we welcome any suggestions, feedback, comments, and criticisms, which improves the quality of our program, which ultimately improves your listening experience. Before we get started, I want to tell all of you thank you for your tremendous support. People are slowly but surely finding out about who we are and what we do. They enjoy and respect the passion with which we speak. And as we always say here at Chin Check Sports Radio, we do this because we love it, as we are simply sharing our passion with you all as we continue to build our listening army to take over the world. Yes, definitely on this broadcast, we are doing our review of the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez fight in New York City this past Saturday night on an extremely cold winter day to conclude the month of January. And just like we stated in the preview, Brick City stood up. The city of Newark definitely carried bricks to the concrete jungle of New York City and knocked them down. In an extremely dominant and impressive performance, Shakur Stevenson did the damn thing. I mean, not really too much to review. It was a boxing clinic. When I'm talking about first round, more of a feeling out process, but we'll go before that. Shakur Stevenson had champions in his corner, current champion in one Clarissa Shields, retired undefeated champions in Terrence Bud Crawford, Andre SOG Ward in his corner. So definitely to be around by those type of champions and high-level boxers definitely says a lot about the company that Shakur keeps, definitely being trained by his grandfather. So really the first round against, again, Teofimo Lopez, definitely listen to the preview and with the preview to understand the resume of Lopez at that point, where we even stated on paper Lopez had the better resume. It's just that Shakur was just a better boxer, and it wasn't even close, and you saw that in this particular fight. In the first round, definitely came up a feeling out process. We remember Lopez landing, one hard shot, but it was basically solid jabs, getting the attention of one Lopez. So really that first round, you take away the one hard shot, I would say stiff shot that landed on Stevenson. Shakur definitely won that round, and it was the same pattern throughout the fight. Excellent right jab, left hand, mixing up the attack, excellent footwork, ducking and dodging, great upper body movement, great head movement, i.e. a great defensive fighter. You can make an argument that Shakur Stevenson is one of, if not the best defensive fighter in the game. And we know that when you are a great defensive fighter, your skill set lasts long because you are a boxer, a sweet science, a pure prize fighter. And of course, when you are a defensive fighter, you are less apt to get hit, which gives you longevity. So I know it's not making for a very exciting style, and we'll get to that in a minute. Folks, throughout this entire fight, solid right jab, left hand mix up the attack, land some body punches, and definitely duck out the way. And he seems to be a step, or like my little brother Wes said, a step or two ahead of one Teofimo Lopez doing what he was trying to do. So it was definitely something where you're really trying to figure out what was Lopez doing. And we think the way Lopez was talking that he was going to just walk through Shakur's light punches, because Shakur really doesn't sit down his punches. He's really not the knockout puncher. And we thought Lopez figured that he was going to just walk through Shakur Stevenson, basically land a hard knockout punch, and that was really going to be it. Because in one of Shakur's previous fights, everybody's saying that Shakur looked bad. He probably bought into that narrative, thinking that he was going to roll through him and knock him out, and that didn't happen. Folks, in that entire fight, we gave Teofimo Lopez one round, and that would be the 7th round. That is it. We only gave Lopez one round in that entire fight. And what made it even worse was him even cutting Lopez up with a clean punch and definitely cut him up. And that man was leaking, ladies and gentlemen. No questions asked. The man was leaking and leaking badly. And we don't know what the cut man was doing in the corner, because the job as a cut man is to try to bring the cut under control. we understand that, so we definitely understand that a fighter might get hit again, which will open the cut up. But it was the man is standing up, off his stool to go back into the round and still bleeding profusely. So we don't know what the corner was doing. Lopez's father really seemed to have no advice, kind of just keep doing this and keep working your jab. And I'm looking like, you're telling your son to work his jab or work behind his jab, but he's clearly being out jabbed. So, of course, being at the sports bar, that's what we heard. And we're like, he's telling his son to work behind his jab. Everything works off of his jab, but he's clearly getting out jabbed badly, by the way. Lopez had some success in that 7th round that we thought he found some openings by going to the body. But finding openings that's going to the body was pretty much open him up to be even countered even some more upstairs. And as Lopez was clearly getting outclassed in this fight, he started to get like a little bit reckless. And you saw the more holes in his game. And Shakur Stevenson just picked Lopez apart. That's basically what it was. When you're in there with a sharpshooter, you get him picked apart, you're throwing punches, it's not landing with full power. Him using, a version of the shoulder roll defense is basically lessening his target size, the head movement, even rolling away from punches. If it does land, it doesn't land full force. So, folks, that's just boxing. That performance was so dominant. You have people now trying to minimize it by saying that, I wouldn't, like Shannon Sharp and the Nightcap crew, but specifically Shannon Sharp, well, I wouldn't pay to see Shakur Stevenson fight. Shannon Sharp, we love you. We love listening to Nightcap, definitely one of our favorite podcasts. We definitely loved you on Undisputed. We thought you definitely carried that show on Fox Sports. Definitely NFL Hall of Famer, one of the best tight ends of all time. Definitely the trailblazer for some of the tight ends that we see now. Just on this issue, Shay Sharp, we definitely don't agree with you on this one. It's not about, knocking people out. His style is a winning style. Now, yes, you want to talk about being a star and being this, and the Gervonta Tank Davis has a knockout power, which draws, casual fans in. But we don't know what's going to be Gervonta Davis's future, being recently arrested and basically being a fugitive from justice. So we don't know. But Shakur Stevenson, in terms of pure boxing, this kid was a silver medalist. I mean, we went through his boxing resume. To be a medalist in the Olympics, that kind of says a lot. And yes, we are aware that a lot of guys do medal in the Olympics and they really don't do anything. But at the end of the damn day, to win a silver medal in the Olympic Games, that's high-level boxing. I mean, you're going against the Cuban machine. The Cubans have probably one of the best amateur boxing systems in the world, the Russian boxing system. So to go through that, to win a silver medal, that clearly shows boxing ability. And Shakur Stevenson is a boxer, no questions asked, a purebred boxer. You know how we feel about professional boxers, the beauty of the sport. It is not a tough man competition. We're not trying to minimize tough man competitions. It's not about that. It is a sweet science. It's the ability to hit your opponent clean, minimize, and avoid his shots. Now, of course, you're going to get hit. It's boxing. It is what it is. But when you can minimize, when you can take away a guy's best weapon, or minimize the power of his punches by utilizing range, and distance, or simply by avoiding the punches with head movement and upper body movement and footwork, folks, is a thing of beauty. We have mentioned this before, that these guys who can box, we definitely enjoy, like the beauty of it. So definitely a dominating performance. We don't necessarily think that he necessarily had to chase a knockout. That is his boxing style. He's going to outbox you and make his opponent look rather amateurish. So definitely a wonderful performance by Shakur Stevenson. We said this before also, but modern fight fans, y'all can't help yourselves. We understand that when two boxers get into the ring, somebody has to lose. Generally, someone loses, unless there's a draw. Now, in this case, Lopez lost. But we also stated that we're not going to start pulling that crap of, well, the loser was exposed and overrated and stuff like that. On this night, Shakur Stevenson was a better fighter in the ring on this night. Now, do we think things would be better in the rematch, or if there was a rematch? And no reason to believe that we should even see a rematch because it was such a dominant performance. But that's boxing. Guys win, guys lose. But to start this crap with a modern boxing fan, well, he was exposed, he's overrated, he's this and that and the third. Stop it. That's not how we roll. That's what we want to see, the best fight and the best. We always say that we don't get the top fights that we want to get, but now to set up that fight, we definitely got that fight, and that's what we wanted. So, and it was a happening night at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Definitely seemed to be a pro Shakur Stevenson crowd, and definitely a lot of folks who know it probably came through. So that's definitely a good thing. So think going forward, some of the quality of fights that we can get. You saw some of the banter back and forth between Shakur Stevenson and one Conor Ben. You still got Devin Haney. You still got Tank Davis. So Ryan Garcia. So there's still Roland Romero, Mario Barrios. There's still fights to be made that's going to be exciting fights as boxing fans. That's what we want to see. We want to see the best fight the best, and understanding that guys win, guys lose, but how do guys respond to losses, and how do guys continue to improve and even stay humble in wins. So definitely a dominant performance by Shakur Stevenson. Definitely congratulations. Boy, you definitely make Newark proud, so definitely proud of you on that. Now, for the comedy of the day. Now, folks, we go back a long time watching boxing. We'll even give you a preview here. Probably over 30 plus years watching boxing. Definitely HBO, Saturday Night Boxing, Showtime Championship Boxing. So we definitely watch a lot of fights. We literally watched when Fan Man flew into the ring in the rematch between Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe in 1993. We literally watched the brawl that broke out at Madison Square Garden between followers of Riddick Bowe and Andrew Golota. That big brawl in the ring that was featured on the HBO Legendary Series fights about 20 years ago. Same thing with the Fan Man flying into, I believe that was Caesar's Palace, parachuting into the ring during a heavyweight championship fight. One of the most bizarre things ever in boxing. And boy, Jarrell Big Baby Miller, who up until Saturday was mostly known for failing 3 separate drug tests for different substances. So Jarrell Big Baby Miller, heavyweight out of New York City, before Saturday night was known for failing 3 drug tests. So, in the second round versus Kingsley Eba, in Lee, I know you listening, brother. And this is why I text a man, Lee, who was joining me, definitely at the sports bar. In the second round, we see Jarrell Big Baby Miller get hit, and we start to see his hair start to come off the hairline. He gets hit again, and the hair comes further back, which became apparent the man is wearing some toupee, hairpiece, hair unit during a heavyweight boxing match. And the man's hairpiece at one point, and of course the pictures are all online, and yes, it was surreal seeing it live. The man's little high top fade, high top hair unit was in the air. And every cliche you want to come up with, from getting his cap peeled back to his wig split, was so apropos for that situation. So at the end of the second round, as it's become evident the man's hair is falling off, Jarrell Big Baby Miller actually pulls the hair off. So of course, he plays in the crowd, and he's been a great sport about it. And luckily for him, he won the fight by split decision. We thought he was actually losing the first couple rounds, so all credit to him for winning a very close fight. So it was a very close fight, so we definitely give him all the credit in the world on that. And he recently joined Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco Nightcap. And what was most stunning about it, he still has the hairstyle, I guess, with the glue in his hair. And he even stated that hairstyle cost him $700. And he stated he was told by the hairstylist that he was going to fortify with extra glue and stuff like that. And clearly with the sweat and the punches, the hair didn't stay on. So that right there had ranked up there probably the top 3 most bizarre things ever in boxing history. And Jarrell Big Baby Miller would have to become the undisputed heavyweight champion. To put it in perspective, we think that man can become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm talking about knock out Usyk for all the title, totally just clean out the division and establish himself as the best fighter of his generation. He would need to do that to have a chance of living that hair debacle down in the middle of the ring. So definitely hilarious. He's definitely been a great sport about it. So we wish great things for Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, continued success. But that was definitely classic on a cold night, but definitely a hot night of action inside of Madison Square Garden. So until the next time, it's Chin Check Sports Radio. Signing out.